Hi, everybody. I'm Carla with Builderall Digital Marketing Solutions. Thanks for joining me for this tutorial, Introduction to Mailing Boss. Mailing Boss is Builderall's email automation tool, and it is a fantastic tool to have. In just a couple of minutes, we're going to dive in and look around a little bit. Before you leave this tutorial, you're going to have a basic understanding of Mailing Boss, pardon me, the tools within Mailing Boss, and how those tools are used to engage with your customers and clients. You're also going to have a clearer understanding about how email automation can help you as a business person or a blogger or somebody who is trying to remain engaged with their customers or followers. And actually, that's where I want to start our tutorial today. One of the reasons that I love Mailing Boss actually has nothing to do with any of my businesses. And I run a couple of businesses, but the reason I love Mailing Boss so much is that it frees me up to live my perfect ideal life. I live in San Diego, California. I am an avid surfer, an avid cyclist. I love to hike, and I'm also an amateur photographer. None of those things are easily done behind a keyboard and behind a computer screen. I also really value interaction with my customers and clients, and I value timely responses and timely engagement with my customers and clients. And email automation allows me to have the best of both worlds. I can be out surfing the waves, catching waves. I can be going down a great hill on my bicycle, and I can also be sending an email to somebody who just subscribed to my list. I could also be sending an email to somebody who's been subscribed to my list for 3 years, and the emails are not going to necessarily be the same email. Matter of fact, they won't. I also love email automation because it allows me to very easily send offers and coupons to people on my lists. And this is a valuable tool because if you have somebody who is subscribing to who subscribes to one of your lists and they click every single link you ever send out, and Mailing Boss has an analytic tool that will tell you which one of your links are getting clicked on. We'll talk about that. But they click on every single one of your links and they read your emails, and you know that they're an engaged person. Those are the people that you might want to send a percentage off coupon to for one of your products or one of your services. You may want to send them an offer for something, for some other venture that you're involved in, some other business venture that you're involved in. You may also use this feature to send coupons to people who have been subscribed for a period of time, or by whatever criteria you set. Builderall allows you to set Mailing Boss allows you to set quite a number of criteria. I also like the feature that allows me to promote my existing products and services to the list that subscribed for those products and services, and cross promote to other lists. Mailing Boss makes it very easy to transfer names from one list to another. And they also make it very easy for you to track what your subscribers are doing with the emails that you're sending and what's happening with the emails in general. For example, you can find out if your emails are being delivered, if they're being opened, if they're bouncing, and if they're being opened, are the links being clicked on? That's a lot of valuable information when you get back to the marketing end of your business, because that gives you enough. If your emails are not generating the response you want, then you can look at the analytics about where your subscribers are clicking and figure out where your snag is. For example, if they're not even opening your emails, perhaps your problem is your subject line. Perhaps your problem is the time of day that you're sending the email. Maybe you're sending your email on a weekend and your subscribers only to this particular list, only open their emails on the weekdays, or the majority of your subscribers. By being able to see who's opening your emails and what links they're clicking on, you can get a rough idea of whether the content of your email is the thing that's preventing your subscriber from going further with your business or from interacting more fully with your emails, or if there's a problem with your links. So all of these analytics tools are super helpful. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to jump into Mailing Boss. We're going to start in the Builderall back office. Just in case you're new to the platform, I want you to know how to find it. Right now we're in the back office, and we're just going to go over here where it says, I can't really read the screen without my special eyes, so let me take care of that. Drag and drop email marketing automation, Mailing Boss. And really it is the boss. When you jump in, you will be on the Mailing Boss homepage, and this is where you can start any type of action that you want to begin. Let's just do a quick overview of this page and what each of the actions will get you. Remember that this is just a basic tutorial, so this information will not teach you how to do the actions, but it'll show you what you can do. Starting from left to right, if you click the Builderall logo, you'll go back to the Builderall back office. If you click this Mailing Boss logo with the open envelope, you will come to this page again. The subscribers tab, if you click on that, will show you a list of all the subscribers you have on all of your lists. And if you click lists, you will see a list of all the lists that you have. Now, those lists are not listed actually in linear format. You can see they actually are represented in small squares, and there's different information in those that we'll talk about when we do the list tutorial. Something that's important, now I should say to you that a list is a collection of email and any other information that you have required your subscribers to provide. I'll show you how to require that, or how to collect information and make it either required or optional when we go over lists in the tutorial for lists. But as you can see, you can do quite a few things with these lists. You can see over a general overview of what the list does. You can edit it. You can see who your subscribers are. You can set the emails for this list and set up your page configurations. You can duplicate this list. So let's say that for some reason I wanted to, maybe I'm collaborating with another e-commerce site. And so I have my subscribers to my highest purpose store, which is my e-commerce, and I want to share that with that person. I can duplicate the list. Oh, I'm sorry, that's where you transfer the list or copy the list for that. You can duplicate the list if I wouldn't do this for a store because I only have one store. But let's say that I did want to duplicate this list for some reason, I could just do that there. A campaign is an email. I'm not sure why they didn't just call it emails, but they called it a campaign. Okay, but a campaign is an email or a series of emails. Well, actually, a campaign is one email, and a sequence is a series of emails. Okay, let me show you what I mean. When you click all emails in campaigns, you will see every email that you have scheduled to go out for all of your lists across the board in Builderall, and they're listed from the most current. Well, I guess you can filter how it happens, but right now they're listed from the most current emails that I've set up to the furthest away emails that they're set up, or the ones that I did the most long ago. You can also look at email sequences. Remember, sequences are more than one email in, or more than one campaign. So that would look like this, for example. Let's say that I have this 30 days. This is the email. If you bought this from me, then you saw this email campaign. I'm in this email sequence, 30 days for $1, Builderall digital marketing. I have my welcome to Builderall. It's set to go. It's an auto response, or it's actually an automation, but it goes at 0 days after the email. So the day that the person subscribes, 1 day after they subscribe. And then this one actually says 0 days, but I'll get in there and change it. It'll be 2 days. And so you can set up multiple emails within your series of emails. It allows you to compose and schedule emails to go out in advance so that you send the same information to all your customers relative to when they sign up for your list. Okay. When we get into campaigns, I'm going to talk about the different options that you have for scheduling emails. There are actually 3. And I don't want to go into too much detail here because this is just an introduction, but you do have a couple of different ways that you can choose to schedule emails. A workflow is, well, in campaigns, you'll see that you can manage your campaigns and you can create new campaigns. If you were to click those things, it would allow you to either look at if I click this, I can look at the campaigns that I have going on. And remember, campaigns are emails, right? So these are all emails. And what I can do is click on any one of these and address it individually rather than going into the sequence and making a change within the sequence. You can do it both ways. If we come over here to workflow, this is very confusing at first, right? Because it's just a grid and there's not a thing going on. But what's really cool about this feature is that it allows you to, within these subcategories and a couple of more subcategories, set up a flow of action for the subscribers on your list. Okay, so you can see here are the elements to a workflow. There are lists, route subscribers, email campaigns, email sequences, instant messages, and tags. These are all the different ways you could choose to find people to put into this workflow or into this process of emails. Okay. If you choose list, what will happen is that you can come here, you can just click on list and drag and drop, and you can choose which list you work from. And you can actually work from a couple of different lists in the same workflow. If you wanted to combine, if I wanted to, for example, send a series of emails or a single email to several different lists. You can route subscribers, so you can just choose different people from your subscriber drop down. You can set up a single email. Remember that an email campaign is a single email. So you can click this over here and you can see that you can edit the information in the email, the content of the email, I should say, any tags that you're going to use in the email and when you want that to go out. For an email sequence, you can drag that over here and you can edit it. You have all the same information to edit in this particular email sequence, but you're going to do it for multiple emails. And I'm going to show you how to do that when I show you how to set up a campaign in a campaign tutorial. If you wanted to send an instant message to people in this workflow, let's say that this workflow is going to be for a webinar, let's just say, and I want to send out an instant message an hour or so before the webinar to all the people who are registered. If within my list I collected their phone number, then I can send them an instant message saying, hey, don't forget to go to your Creating Dynamic Outcomes webinar at 2:00, something like that. Okay. And then you can also choose to bring people into your list by using tags. I'm sorry, let me say that again. You can also choose to bring people into your workflow by using tags. When we do the list, when you see the list tutorial, you'll learn how to create tags, and those tags can be used to direct where your email goes to. Okay. For example, I'm a Builderall affiliate and I have several Builderall lists. I have one for the 2-week trial. I have one for the 30-day trial. I have one for people who buy premium flat out. And so let's say that I've just compiled a file packet with some backgrounds, some fonts, maybe some video backgrounds with sound. And I want to give that to everybody who's on Builderall with me right now. And I just want to make that available to them. Maybe it's part of another promotion or whatever, but I want to send it to people who are on my Builderall lists, all of them. Then I can just put my I can use my Builderall tag and it will draw in all of those people. Now, let's say that I want to also use that list for people I work with for who I work with for digital marketing purposes, let's say. And they're building maybe the website and I'm doing some other aspect of it. I can also send them the file and maybe I just use my digital marketing tag and send it to anybody that I do digital marketing work with. Something like that, okay? Of course, the save button and the create new button. Now the create new is create a new workflow, okay? I'm going to just go ahead and delete all of these little things. But fun thing, well, I'll teach you that when we do workflows. It's so easy for me to go down the rabbit hole of just teaching you all the details because Builderall is a fantastic platform and all of the tools within Builderall are really intuitive, really user-friendly, very responsive. And so it's really easy to just want to keep talking about them. If you look at workflows, you'll see that I have several of them here, okay? And I have one for my webinar, Creating the Life of Your Dreams. I have one for another series of webinars, my Path to Empowerment series. I'm an empowerment coach. So this is if people buy a single coaching session. Here's another way that you could use tags actually is that I have two single session coaching. I guess I could delete one of those, but I have single session coaching clients. I have multiple session coaching clients. I also have people who are in my member sites on my website. And they all have a tag on them. So if I wanted to send all of them a particular promotion or let them know that I have a new webinar series coming out or something like that, then I just type in the tag in that tag feature and it'll send the messages that I create to those people. It's really wonderful how how the Builderall developers have made so many of the features of really all of the tools approachable from a couple of different angles. And you'll see that as we go a little bit deeper into Mailing Boss, that you can approach the same job a couple of different ways, depending on either personal preference or where you happen to be working in the platform. It's really nice. I love that feature. So you can see, I have quite a lot of, I'm just going to, while I'm sitting here, I'm just going to go ahead and delete a couple of these things because I have so many of them, okay? So one of the things I like about Builderall is that anytime I go to delete something, it asks me if I want to do it. So what you've seen here in this tutorial is that you have a fantastic email automation program that allows you to create email lists, reach out to your subscribers in a variety of different via email with a variety of different scheduling formats. And you can also set up a email flow based on a variety of different criteria, including subscribers, people who are on different lists, whether you can send out emails based on one list or a series of lists. You can also send out emails based on tags and you can also, and so forth. So I hope that this has helped you to feel a little bit more comfortable with Mailing Boss. That's my goal. And I hope that when you jump into the next tutorial, the next 3 tutorials that talk about the tools of Mailing Boss, you at least feel like you are familiar with them. You know what? There was one more thing I almost forgot to show you. And y'all. It's a feature not to be missed. So let's jump back in. Let's go back to this Mailing Boss homepage. If I can, which of course I can, right? I'm just gonna remember how to do that. You just click on this open envelope and that'll take you back to the Mailing Boss homepage. And I want to talk about this statistics area right here. Okay, this area will show you all the campaigns that you have. And then within a list, it'll tell you, like I was saying, let me just pop into a list and show you what I'm talking about right here. Look at what I'm doing over here, y'all. Let me move this down a little bit. Let me go into my lists. Let me just pick a list. Let's see. Well, I just created this list, but we're going to go ahead and look at it anyway. I think I want to go into here. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I lied. I lied to y'all. I apologize. I'm not usually that kind of woman. Overview. That's what I wanted to hit. Overview gets you your statistical information. Now, this would allow me to import subscribers. Let's say that some of my coaching clients, I want to go ahead and put them on this list so I can start to market to them. I could do that if I wanted to. I personally am disinclined to automatically subscribe people to a list. I'm more inclined to say, hey, I've got this thing going on. Click this link and add yourself if you're interested. But if you're so inclined, you can import subscribers from wherever you want. You can also create new campaigns, which, remember, a campaign is an email, and new sequences from this field. Okay, I mean, from this page. You can also see within your list the different, you can update it. You can see how many subscribers you had. Remember, I said this is a brand new list. How many segments I have within my list right now. I don't have any, obviously. I have 6 fields within my list. We'll talk about the fields in the list later on because it talks more about that's part of setting up the list. How many pages are in my list, the different forms I might have included in my list, and whether or not I'm importing or exporting. The option will happen there in that corner also. You can see that you'll be in any list, you'll be showing your subscriber growth. So from day 0, you'll see however many people join your list. You'll notice if you have plateaus in growth, or this is really great because it allows you to see if your list grows incrementally. For example, do you have more subscribers during certain days of the month when you're running certain ads or promotions, or during certain times of the year when there's some other factor that's involved? Okay. The responsivity level, you'll see it has no sufficient data. I haven't actually launched this store yet, so this is a little bit, this list isn't active yet because the store is still being built. And if you want to know how to build an e-commerce store, you should definitely check out the Welcome to Super Checkout tutorial, because that will tell you a little bit more about e-commerce. But this will let you know how people are opening your messages, whether or not they're opening your messages, and whether or not they're clicking the links. You can also see that you're told how many deliveries, which emails are delivering, which ones are bouncing. If you're getting a lot of bounces, there are a couple of ways to fix that, and we'll talk about that when you talk about building lists. And then you can also look at your unsubscribers. Now, this is another thing that's important. If you're noticing that all of a sudden a bunch of people unsubscribed from your list, you got to wonder what you did, right? Or if you notice that, for example, if you have a series of emails going out, then you may notice that maybe after email number 10 or 11, that's when people drop off. If there's a particular email, or you can look here and see where the unsubscriptions are happening, and that might help you to determine how you want to gear your marketing in the future. And that's, there's so many, the lists and The campaigns and the workflows are all valuable tools in Mailing Boss, but do not discount the value of this analytics piece, because when you start to read this and once you start to get used to seeing the numbers, you're really going to be able to direct your marketing based on what you see here. So with that said, I am so glad that you joined us and took the time to learn about the different features of Mailing Boss and how they're used to engage your customers. I'm glad that you also have a little bit more knowledge on how email automation can benefit you. And I really do hope that you'll check out the other 3 emails in this series: Mailing Boss Introduction to Lists, creating campaigns in Mailing Boss, and creating workflows in Mailing Boss. I'll link to those 3 videos in the description area. And I sure do hope that you will like this video and subscribe if you feel so inclined. And I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. And I look forward to seeing what you build on Builderall.